Hello, everyone. I'm back again with another interesting news update about the XRP. A former Ripple employee says that big news is mere days away, having specifically to do with XRP. It's vague, it's a little bit cryptic, but this ex-Ripple employee says, and I quote, XRP is going to explode. So, yes, you better believe I'm going to highlight this because if something actually happens, and I didn't talk about this prior, I'd feel a little bit silly because this is an XRP-centric channel. So we'll see to what degree this is serious. And even if there is a big move, is XRP going to move sooner than later? Or are we just going to see, does he mean we're going to see a massive explosion once the market gets hot? There are a lot of ways that you can interpret this, but it's fascinating because for whatever reason in recent days, this particular former Ripple employee has been saying stuff along these lines. I've reported it in a couple of different videos over, I don't know, say the last week or so. It was somewhat unexpected because this guy made it clear that he's under a non-disclosure agreement, so he can't be too specific. Okay, fair enough. But it's also fascinating that even though this ex-Ripple employee was let go because the company did downsize, not because there was some horrific falling out necessarily, not that I was, he says it was just a downsizing type of thing for a particular department, if you will, within Ripple on a global scale. Despite that being the case, he's still very, very positive, specifically about both Ripple and XRP. So no sour grapes here. He's still clearly a bull on both. But before going further, I do want to be clear. I do not have a financial background of any kind. I'm not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. This piece reads as follows. A former Ripple director has recently teased upcoming exciting developments for the XRP ecosystem, charging the community to expect quote-unquote big news soon. I want to set the table a little bit because I'm sure that many of you have seen this by now, but if not, it is worth repeating. There is a post, and this is the one that first caught the attention of the XRP community, including crypto media, frankly. This is from January 29th, and I reported this once this happened because there was a post where the ex-Ripple employee in question, his name is Sean McBride, was saying things, frankly, along these lines even back then, just a little over a week ago. But he noted he was under a non-disclosure agreement. After publicly stating, hey, the recruiting team, which he was a part of, he was laid off. There was big downsizing. On a global scale, he then said the following, and he deleted this too, which is interesting. I don't know what the rationale is for that, but he deleted this post, but not the rest of the stuff I'm about to show you. He said, what I can tell you is Ripple and XRP aren't going anywhere. Everyone should be excited for the future of both. I really can't say more NDA, which of course is again a non-disclosure agreement, but that's not the only post. There have been several posts. Here we have January 30th, Sean McBride wrote the following. Some people just don't understand the amount of money invested in crypto outside of the US, especially in Southeast Asia, United Arab Emirates, where they are so much further ahead in terms of institutional adoption and government regulation framework. Those that serve a specific purpose or purposes, and i.e. XRP, is already being adopted and utilized successfully. By next year, every bank in Japan will be using XRP for cross-border payments alone. In case you were wondering, Japan has the third largest economy in the world. That type of comment is not included under his non-disclosure agreement, but it does make me wonder what the heck else he knows that he can't share with us. Given the nature of the MDA, which of course Ripple is known to do, I don't blame him one bit for trying to make sure he doesn't go too far out of bounds, but I am surprised he's saying much of anything, to be honest with you. That brings us back to the article from today, which continues as follows. This teaser came from Sean McBride, a talent acquisition leader who served as Ripple's director of global talent acquisition for 2 years from August 2021 to July 2023. McBride took to X last night to prepare the XRP community for what he regards as a big development. Here's the post from him last night. Big news, he's coming from Ripple and XRP in the next couple of days. I don't know what to make of that, to be honest with you, because he's no longer with Ripple. He's under an NDA. How would he know the timing of anything relevant to XRP and or Ripple this precise, given that he's no longer there? Presumably the answer would be, and this is only speculation, of course, any contacts he still has there, but still, that leaves me wondering, why is he even talking about this? I'm happy to hear it. I'm endlessly curious. I know you guys are too. If you've got something that you're willing to say publicly, whatever it is, even if it's a little bag like this, great. I want to know what's the perspective here. I'd be surprised if he's just making this up out of nowhere. We'll see if something unfolds here. There's more though, so check this out. Piece continues. While some proponents expressed excitement in anticipation of the unknown development, others showed less enthusiasm and cited a pattern of previous disclosures that turned out disappointing with no visible positive impacts on the ecosystem. One internet personality mockingly questioned if the upcoming development involved an announcement from a major company about using a Ripple product and then not following through with the move. Okay, and as far as what they're saying here in this article about being disappointing in terms of no visible positive impact, this or that, they're not talking about what Sean McBride is saying. They're talking about other developments. They cite a couple. I don't need to read the whole article, but they highlight Western Union's pilot with Ripple from years ago, and Western Union didn't move forward with that. I've talked about that several times over the years. That's frankly not surprising. They'd be with their efficient treasuries and they've gotten money all over. They'd be about the last firm that would be interested in changing their business model because it's their smaller competitors that have to tap into the liquidity of large banks and have to pay for that frequently high fees. Those smaller firms, remittance firms and banks, D be the most likely to jump on board, but the largest incumbents, D be the last to jump on board. Whether you're talking about Western Union or a major bank like Citi, for example. Ashish Perla, a former Ripple employee who's on the board still, I believe, at Ripple, talked about that years ago, how they had to find the sweet spot effectively for what's the right size customer for Ripple. The answer is not the largest banks out there because, again, they're making money from the smaller competitors, rather. That's not surprising that Western Union didn't move forward. They also cite MoneyGram, but that was a successful relationship between MoneyGram and Ripple until the SEC came along, and then that rendered the relationship impossible. It was amicable, but both Ripple and MoneyGram were like, well, we can't do anything now. So they just agreed to part ways, which is unfortunate to see that the SEC just shredded that. That was rather disappointing. But again, stuff happens, but it's not like there's something wrong specifically with Ripple or XRP as a result. That's not what that indicates here. But there was an additional comment from Sean McBride, and he said the following: yeah, all you non-Ripple shareholders can shut the F up. And he wrote STFU, but that's what that stands for. Because yes, big news is coming, already has come, and XRP is going to explode. That there is something big, it's coming. So it's on the record. I've shared it on my channel. We'll see if something comes to pass. But I will say when it comes to Ripple, specifically if this is some Ripple-related news, historically, whatever Ripple announces does not sway the price of XRP whatsoever. Historically, the SEC has done a way better job messing with the price of XRP on a global scale than Ripple ever has, because when the SEC sued, prices went down. When the SEC lost, the price went up. So the SEC, them mucking about and all this, yes, that had an impact. But Ripple announcing all sorts of endless positive news for a decade doesn't seem to matter. Not in the moment, at least. Certainly not in the moment. But he insists something indeed is coming. Then there was also this post in response because, again, Sean McBride, the post, he said, big news coming from Ripple and XRP in the next couple of days. Again, this is after he noted he's under an NDA. We'd say when the founder of XRPL Labs wrote to him the following, and he said, must be quite the news if it is worth entering insider trading territory. I don't know if what Sean McBride stated there would go so far as to say that, and I mean that because I'm not a lawyer. Thank you for joining us today. If you found this video informative and insightful, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more exciting updates from the world of cryptocurrencies and technology.